Carp Anglers. James here from Team Fish Fighters and Tom Peter Baits.
And Dan Elias from USA CARP and Bound Peter Baits.
And Kenny Mack is off today. So.
Yep, Kenny Mack, busy. He's got 7-8 jobs.
Oh my gosh,
always,
busy man.
Running around.
You guys had a good podcast last night.
Thank you, yeah. Dave's wife, Jody, she really let him have it.
Yeah,
so
it's good to hear that once in a while.
Yeah, we got to just sit back and, let her go. And I'm glad she did. And like Kenny Mack was saying, that's really the energy that we were trying to get out of, Mama Mac and out of Molly. And they just weren't going to give it to us. They're too supportive at times. They don't want to rib us on our own show. It's like they see, what it takes to put it together. And they're like, oh, well, we want your project to be fun. And, we want it to, be a safe space for you. No, we were supposed to get ribbed, just like Jody was doing to Dave. So
what's that show called? Like a celebrity or something like that? They get scolded like on their birthday. Roasted,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it should have. It should have been like a roast.
Wife roasted signatures. Something get talk, right? But wow, I'm glad you guys come to our show.
Yeah.
On this little 22-degree day over here.
Yeah, cold one.
And I see a lot of people's trying to go for a snow carp here soon.
Yeah, we were just talking about that a little bit in the pre-show. It's like I see Richie out there getting his snow carp. I know
Snowman.
Fred,
Iceman.
yeah.
Iceman. I always call him the Iceman all the time.
Dave and Fred Powers, they tried to get out there and get theirs. I saw Fred. He's holding a big chunk of ice and snow. He said that was his capture. So, it's hard out there. It's hard to get him. Richie makes it look easy. He really does. But I know behind those pictures, there's hours and hours of planning, and he's hunting them down. So, Richie, you make it look easy, and you definitely inspire us to try to get out there and get it one ourselves.
I want to bring this up. Okay. Everybody kept on telling me I was crazy. They didn't, they said, that ain't never going to work. That ain't going to work. Speaking of Fred Powers, so the Fred Powers are doing it. Little Pokemon cards, little game cards that's got the carp anglers on it.
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, they're real cool.
I mean, and I always thought all the time that there should be a lot of carp anglers that have, be like on trading cards. Mm-hmm. And, how many PBs of the year or something. Well, the rookie,
right,
rookie card of the year or carp angler of the year. I always thought that we should have something and get the legends on there, And, I mean,
right, like have some Gilbert Huxley cards and
or
stuff
something
like that.
Yeah. I always just thought that was just cool, but there's a couple of people that, James, you're stupid. I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. I think it'd definitely get, especially my generation, because that's where they really hit, the trading cards. You got to collect everything, So those trading cards really hit my generation a lot. So I think it's a very, very good idea.
Yep, still a dream, but I guess we'll go ahead. There's this one individual on our show today. I tell you, this kid. When I say kid, how old is he?
Yeah, he's younger than me. I think he's 22-ish.
Okay. Kid of me, I guess. Man, he got so much knowledge on carp angling.
Yeah, he's crazy knowledgeable. He's
man, he loves rigs. He could tell all kinds about the rigs. It's just on and on.
And he could tell you why they work. He could tell you why you need to use this rig rather than that rig, and when to use this rig, and what you need to use for the hook bait, and how to balance the hook bait.
Yeah.
And this dude it's like my own little Google. That's why I've been keeping him a secret.
It's a shame you don't have Facebook.
Yeah, he doesn't have any kind of social media. He's just kind of his own carp angler. Everything that he's done, he's done. I don't want to say on his own, but he's been outside the community.
Right.
So he's done the research and everything on his own. He hasn't really had those connections and hasn't really gone back and forth with people on the internet too much like we all do.
Yeah.
We kind of take it for granted. And
we do.
When I do see people, like Alex, I'm like, wow, how do you even do that? And especially for him to be as knowledgeable as he is. And, Kenny Mack has said it that he knows more about rigs than anybody that Kenny Mack knows. And I'll double down on that. He definitely knows more about rigs than anybody that I know. And it's just crazy. I'm very glad that we do have carp anglers like him, though. And it does make me wonder, like I've said before, how many other carp anglers like him are there out there?
Exactly.
They just don't have social media that we don't know about, that that love to catch carp, and that's all they do, and they just start reaching out, and they just don't care to post their catches or anything like that.
So so let's go ahead and bring out Alex Brannon, right? Brannon?
Brandon?
Brandon?
Alex Brandon. There you go. What's up, brother? Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Looking good.
How you doing, Alex?
What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
My name is Alex Brannon. For you guys that don't know who I am, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Outside Chicago a little bit. I'm in the suburbs of Chicago. And man, some people around here like to call me the king of the park lakes, man, because I hit those park lakes up really hard, man. And we have some good park lakes around here. I mean, we got a lake that I love to hit up. It's just about 15 minutes up the road from my house, and we got some 20-pounders and even up to 40-pound grass carp in there.
Oh, wow.
I don't like calling grass carp because they're not.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
They're called Amur, white Amurs.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. See? I didn't know this.
Yeah, somebody defined it,
Wow.
I'm glad that you said that because, everybody always targets, well, what's your biggest carp? And then they go, oh, well, it's a grass carp, but it's something. And I'm glad you're the first American that I've actually heard, it's a white Amur. It's a totally different species. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, this is why we need this kid around. This is what I've been saying.
Representing some carp fishing right here. Got my American Carp Society shirt on, the Angry Carp.
There you go. All right.
There you go. So you are a member of ACS?
I am.
Okay, yeah. So as we were talking about, you don't have social media, so a lot of our viewers, a lot of our community doesn't really know who you are. But I want to remind them that just because they don't know who you are doesn't mean that you're not knowledgeable. Doesn't mean that that you're not tapped into the fish, that you're not tapped into the sport. Just as a little bit of background, Alex got his new bivvy. What was it? A week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, he showed us.
And
last Wednesday.
Yeah, last Wednesday. And so he sends me a picture, it's all set up. It's set up in his living room, and I asked him, I was like, are you fishing in the toilet, And I bet, if he thought that he had a chance, he would be fishing in the toilet. Just the amount of passion that Alex has is very unmatched, and that's, that's one of the things that I immediately see in him. So how did you get your start in carp fishing? Over here in America, carp, they're not the most popular fish in our country. So, did you have somebody that taught you carp fishing in your life, or did you just see them, in a lake and you were like, man, I want to catch those? Or how did you get your start?
So let's, give a brief history of Alex's carp fishing in a nutshell. So this went back years and years ago. I mean, I was probably 11 or 12 years old. I mean, this is before, I really knew anything about carp. The only thing I knew about carp are what people told me about carp, They're trash fish, or, you don't want to go for them or anything. Like, they're a nuisance. Like, we don't want them in our lakes. But I never had a passion like that about fish in my life. Even me being told those words, I still wasn't buying it. Like, I'm just like, I don't see any fish being a trash fish. I'm like, people here in America love their bass. They love their, they love their predator fishing.
Right.
And to be completely honest with you, I dabbled with predator fishing for a while, bass fishing, pike fishing, whatever, the full 9 yards with that style, but I just never really liked it that much, it's just it kind of became kind of repetitive for me, the new lures that they have and all that kind of stuff. Well, one day I was taking a walk. We used to have a lake house up in Wisconsin. Pardon my cough, guys.
You're good.
This called Lake Delavan, which is in Wisconsin, just kind of over the border of Illinois and Wisconsin. And I remember that we were walking by the channel. There's this little channel that leads into the bay of the lake. And I saw these absolutely giant common carp, just, shoals, just crazy shoals of these fish that were just swimming. It looks like it was around the spawn. It was definitely around June. So they're, spawning action, thrashing about the margins, doing regular spawning behavior for the carp.
Right.
And as me being little me, I was astonished. I mean, I'm like, man, I really want to get my hands on one of these fish. So that's when, it started. Now, my first ever carp fishing setup wasn't, like a Daiwa Bazier or something like that. Definitely not. My first carp fishing setup was a good old Shimano no, not Shakespeare Tiger was my first rod. It was a spin casting setup.
Nice.
And, I didn't know too much about fishing at that time either. I mean, I was putting like 50-pound Omniflex from Walmart onto the, spin casting reel, thinking like, oh, this treble hook and this like, 2-gram lead's gonna catch me a carp,
Yeah.
I knew just about as much as a lot of people here in the States know about carp fish, and they think of like, oh yeah, drop shots or whatever, like we're gonna, use a Carolina rig with some sweet corn or something like that. But my Euro style carp fishing didn't really start until 2019.
Okay.
So for you guys, I've been Euro style carp fishing now for about 5 years.
Look at you.
But what got me into Euro style carp fishing, you may ask? Well, so my grandpa had this book. Yes, I'm a book learner, guys. I like being on YouTube and stuff like that. I've learned some stuff on YouTube, but I like to learn things from the book.
Yeah.
So I have this book. It's an old dictionary, the fishing dictionary. It's probably from like 1990 or 1980s. Like, this book was old, but it was showing pictures of baits for carp. And I remember looking through it, and it said like processed baits. And I was like, showing things like pasta, like the old school baits they used to use out there in in Europe and stuff. They used to use like these mixtures, dough balls before, Richard Walker really, popularized the sport.
Right.
Revolutionized carp fishing. I mean, I learned from the book that, Euro carp fishing started with match fishing. They started, course style fishing. They were going for like bream, tench, those kind of species. And they were eating the carp all the time. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even know anything about that. Well, they found, these carp being, very hardy fish, and that they fought really hard. And, that's how we have the revolutionized Euro style carp angling, the hair rigs, the things that we use nowadays, the high protein baits like boilies and things like that. But I just remember looking through it like, man, I would love to get my hands on some of this tackle. I remember it showing like pictures of bite alarms and the old school monkey climbers, which are like these little sticks. They're kind of like bobbins, drop back bobbins, but they're like all fixed into one bar.
Yeah.
Or bottle clips. They used to use bottle clips all the time. And I was just like, wow, that's kind of what I want to do. So, I ended up partaking. So we have a little park lake where I started out at, just like 5-6 minutes away from my house, where I, partaked in my first fishing tournament. It was kind of a kid's, dad's kind of fishing tournament.
Okay.
Right.
And that was the first time that I really gave actual carp fishing a go. I was using steelhead rods at the time. They were like 8-foot steelhead rods, 8 to 10-foot steelhead, all glass rods from my grandpa. And I was using Zepco, the old Zepco Quantum, when they used to call them Zepco, in the front, the Quantum bait runner reels.
There you go.
And I was using a Lindy lead with an octopus hook, number 8.
Yep.
And I didn't hair rig it. I was just using like a double stack of sweet corn on the hook itself, and I caught my first carp, but the biggest fish of the tournament, and won.
Nice.
It was maybe about 8-9 pounds.
Oh.
So was that tournament, was that just a multi-species tournament, and then you were there carp fishing? You said, I'm going to go show these people I'm going to catch a carp. Or was it a carp tournament?
So it was a multi-species tournament. So it was pretty much the longest fish and the quantity of fish. And I ended up catching the longest fish, winning first place for that common carp. And man, after that, it was over for me. I mean, the addiction just started, man. I became a carpaholic in probably 2020 was when I was absolutely just into the sport. I mean, I started buying all the stuff, the rod pod, the bite alarms, I used bass rods for a pretty long time. I was using 7-foot medium heavy action bass rods with bait runner reels on them. I was fishing, I got my first unhooking mat because, I was reading things on. So that's when, my YouTube started, when I started looking at YouTube videos a little bit. My first ever YouTube video I ever stumbled across was Fish with Carl, back when it was called Carl and Alex Fishing.
Yeah.
I love that show.
And then I was watching Team Nash, Fox, and Corda. Just kind of learning about how they how in the neck of the woods, how they treat their carp and stuff. Because if I want to might as well be a carp angler, I want to might as well, treat them like a trophy fish. How we treat our bass here in the U.S.
Right.
Well, I want to treat the carp like that. So that's why I got the unhooking mat. I had a rubber net at first. I didn't have my 50-inch specimen, landing net for carp fishing yet. I was just using a rubber landing net. Setups were very simple at first. I mean, you have to learn somehow. My first ever rig was a Corda inline flat pair lead. with a Fox Edges pre-tied liner hair rig,
Oh wow.
which is really just a kind of a blowback style rig. It has a liner and a little piece of silicone tubing to keep the rig in line. And my first ever hook baits was Quarter Fake Food, slow sinking IB scented corn.
You see that? That's why I love it. He
Yeah.
can remember his first
Hold on.
rig, and he can remember his first hook bait.
Wait a minute.
This is why I love him.
Alex, I want to just tell you this. You know, we're us hosts all the time. We're supposed to, okay, just let the guests talk. You know, go. I gotta stop you, man. Your energy is off the chart, dude.
Yeah.
Your energy is like way, way high. I love I love the whole atmosphere that you're bringing out, and the knowledge that you're just giving me. And within what, 10 minutes, what is your IQ, brother? What is your IQ?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm convinced he's a certified genius. Yeah.
You're blowing my mind away, brother. You're blowing my mind away. But go on. I apologize. Go. Oh, yeah. Just go ahead. I've got some questions.
So your first, we were at your first rig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first rig, my first bait. So I ordered a book off of Amazon.com. It was a carp fishing book that I was interested in reading. So I bought it off Amazon for like 15, 16 bucks, and I got it to my door. So at first, I was just loose feeding at first. I was just throwing out, maize and sweet corn by hand. I didn't have catapults or spods or anything like that. So I wanted to, learn a little bit more. And I stumbled across this section called The Method. And I didn't know what the method was at first. Well, I started reading and I learned exactly what the method was, using a ground bait or a method mix that you put around a fixed lead. So I learned about the method, and I was just thinking to myself, like, how can I make a homemade ground bait? Because we don't have fish meal, we don't have betaine stuff like the betaine green, we don't have robin red or any of that kind of stuff. Like, how am I going to put together a homemade ground bait? So I stumbled across Catfish and Carp's YouTube channel. I bet a lot of you guys here in the States have probably seen Luke Nichols with Catfish and Carp.
Oh yeah.
And, I was watching his videos on how to make, what I found out was called a pack bait. Now, I didn't know what a pack bait was, and it's kind of funny that I knew what a ground bait was before I knew about a pack bait. I was fishing with hair rigs, inline leads, bolt rigs before I was fishing with pack bait.
Yeah.
So, I was like, reading his pack bait. I was like stumbling across a lot of YouTube channels on because I remember right around the time I was looking on YouTube, a lot of YouTubers out there, had different styles of pack baits that they were using. I mean, the old panko breadcrumbs, strawberry jello, and sweet corn. I mean, I gave it a try, but I had problems with it very quickly.
Yeah.
Just didn't bind very well. Didn't bind very well to the lead. I saw that he was using a method feeder, which at first I was convinced that method feeders were old school and they didn't still sell method feeders, according to the books that I was reading.
Right.
I thought of it as a really old style of carp fishing. So he was using a method feeder with the bait, and I'm just like, well, let's see what I could put together in my own kitchen. And that's when, the messy kitchens became a thing, and, all that stuff, getting bait all over. My first ever pack bait was oatmeal instant oats, instant mashed potatoes. I put sweet corn in the bait, and that was my first pack bait. And it did me well.
Right.
It did me well for a while. And, it took me probably through 2020, 2021, 2022. I was pretty much using the same baits.
Nice.
Until 2022 is when I really got into carp fishing, really more advanced. I wanted to learn, I didn't want to be like everybody else. I like to be different. I wanted to try different things. I wanted to experiment with the sport some more, but I wanted to, do it more, I would say, traditional, the way they do it in Europe. I wanted to be like a definition of, an American but Euro style carp angler, fishing the actual Euro rigs, fishing the actual Euro style baits. Now, I still use pack baits.
Right.
Yeah.
Bottom feeder baits, though.
Shout out Bottom Feeder Baits.
Thank you.
I caught my personal best on the Carp Crack, 47-pound grass carp on the Carp Crack.
Ooh, doggy.
Okay, yeah, that brings me, we do have some questions in our chat. So Brian Rand wants to know, what is your PB common and what's your PB mirror carp?
So right now, my personal best common carp is 30 pounds. My personal best grass carp is 47 pounds.
Nice. And do you have a personal mirror?
I do. 32.
Nice.
Nice. Good
Nice.
job. Nice
And
job.
were those
All out of Dale Hollow.
Dale Hollow. Nice, man.
Did he go with you guys?
No, I was just saying we didn't have the pleasure of going down to Dale Hollow together yet. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I promise we'll get there.
Oh my God, you guys will be talking up a storm. Poor Kenny.
Oh, I know. I tell you what, this kid is definitely he's definitely going to have a hand in the first 50 caught out there. I tell you that much.
That's awesome.
He definitely will. Brian Rand would also like to know, do you use boilies? If so,
I do.
what company and what boilies do you like?
I do use boilies. Particularly, I gauge my size of my boilies according to the size of my hooks. So,
Okay.
I have the largest boilies I have right now are 25 millimeter boilies, which are so my favorite brand right now. Gosh, there's so many brands I have used in the past. Anything from Nash Bait. Rest in peace, Nash Bait, guys.
Rest in peace.
They're not
Yeah.
selling bait anymore.
Yeah.
But I started with the Nash Bait. I started with the instant action pineapple crush boilies. I was using, for a while, I was using the conventional size 15 millimeter baits with number 6 hooks. But as of now, I've been using a lot of American Proline product boilies. In particular, I've been using Mega Spice very, very heavily lately. I've been using the 20 mils with number 4 hooks. And I usually do them snowman style.
Okay.
So I'll fish with snowman. So I'll do a 20 mil, and then I'll put usually a 15 mil pop up or even something a little bit smaller than that. But also, World Classic Baits is a really good brand of boilies that I like to use. In particular, I like the Scope X. I have the Scope X right now. The Four Seasons, really good. Man, there's a lot of good boilies. But yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it doesn't, honestly, for me, I don't care about the brand at all. I feel like all that stuff, in my opinion, is just all a gimmick. I mean, I feel like the scents attract us more than the fish.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
I agree. We say it's all about confidence.
Right.
It doesn't matter what brand. As you see on our show that we do on Tuesdays. Our table's lined up with all kinds of brands, all kinds of flavors. That's why I try to tell everybody I use everything. I promise.
Yeah.
Jason Edwards would like to know, what waters are you fishing and where are you from? He fishes a lot of park lakes and he's from Illinois, Chicago area, just outside Chicago.
Let me go off that question right there. If you don't mind. Now you just mentioned that the park lakes that you go to and we had a conversation before the show started. You was like talking, you're just hanging out with a bunch of all kinds of carp anglers that goes to these certain lakes.
Oh yeah.
Now, are they like lakes or ponds, like park ponds, or what kind of are they?
No, this is a lake.
Okay.
It depends. So the lake that I've been fishing the most is a park lake. So it's big enough
At
to
a
be
park.
considered 9 acres. I consider it a park lake. And that's the lake with all the carp anglers. I mean, I've met Romanian carpers. I've met the Romanian guys who are tournament anglers. So they partake in a lot of the American Carp Society tournaments and stuff like that they have over there. And I kind of talk about carp fishing. I've met a Serbian guy. I've met a Bulgarian guy. We all just go back and forth about our carp angling. And, I just see what they're using. And then I just, tell them what I'm using and stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty awesome, that park lake. But I'll fish, honestly, that's the biggest park lake I'll fish, but I mean, we have a lot of rivers around here. You'll probably catch me over at places like, for example, we have this river called the Fox River. It's kind of like your style, like the White River, kind of. It's very similar in size. Very simple to fish. I mean, you don't need anything crazy. I just use German rigs with double stacks of, pop-up or slow sinking corn.
There he goes again.
Yep, I was just saying, you already lost James. When you said it's super simple and then you said German rig, James was like, I thought it was simple.
They're not super hard to tie. They're not hard to tie. Like, there's no tying really whatsoever with those. It's just a knotless knot, and you're all good to go. Curved shank hook, hook feed, and micro rig ring swivel, and you got yourself a German rig. Just make sure you have no floss or bait floss.
Why do I feel like a big old ape going?
That's what I'm saying. I love it.
And you can fish that rig whichever way you want. Subtle, you can fish it subtle if you want. You can fish it with a hook link. My hook link that I usually use is Corda End Trap.
There you go. So at this park, like, you're talking about you've met, Serbians, Romanians, you're meeting people that come from all over the world. Are you guys working this park lake together? Like, are you giving each other tips, trying to get the biggest fish out of that park lake?
So far, me and the Bulgarian guy have been. We've been kind of working the lake. We've been, gauging the spots, the swims that we want to fish. I mean, I'd be pulling out my marker rod. I'm just checking my distance, man. I mean, every time I start a carp session, see, I don't have access to West Coast bait boats like you guys do. I have to do it old school, man. I got to use my distance sticks. I got to use my marker rod, man. I got to, braided line. I got to get a lead out there and drag it on the bottom to see what I'm casting on. I have to do all that. So that's the first thing I do before any session is, I want to know what my depth is. I want to know what the cover is at the bottom. I want to know what these fish are going to be feeding on primarily the most. And whenever I do that, it determines on what rig I'm going to be fishing that session with. I mean, if it's weedy and stuff, then I'm thinking helicopter rigs. If it's, if I'm fishing on silt, anything from anything really, like a blowback rig or anything with some tungsten putty to balance it with some pop-ups, or if you just want to use a sinking bait like a boilie. I mean, gravel, we don't got a lot of gravel around here. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Gravel, the only place that I fish that's really gravelly is the river that I fish all the time. Okay. But other than that, I'll go to the Fox River, and if I'm fishing heavy rock and gravel, then that's when I'm putting PVA nuggets on my rigs and make sure that the rigs aren't hurting themselves, my hooks aren't getting beaten up and stuff, so the bait can sink slower with more pop-up kind of baits or wafters.
Yeah. In the chat, we have Jason Edwards. He says he needs to get you to Blackfoot Reservoir. Sorry, just had to say it.
No, you're good.
Blackfoot Reservoir. Yeah, I think you and Jason Edwards would have a blast out there. We have a bunch of these people in the community, now that they've been introduced to you, they're seeming to love you, Alex. They see how smart you are, man. They see that you know what you're talking about. Have you, you watch YouTube, you've learned all this stuff. Have you ever thought about making a YouTube channel?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, he's so much knowledge. All these people like
his own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I have.
Oh, I
have been thinking about starting a YouTube channel. I mean, I've been having talks with Kenny Mack, who is in here, about starting a YouTube channel and stuff like that. So I've been in the workings of talking with Kenny Mack and seeing what I could do in the future with my passion. Yeah, honestly, man. I'm trying to get out there to other people, and that's kind of the big reason why I wanted to start talking to Kenny Mack and you guys in the first place, to get me a proper place. Yeah. So I can give my passion to other people that want to, learn what I've learned over the years. Yeah. I would rather see a person other than me catch a 50 or 60. I want to see somebody else rather than me. I've caught so many carp. I don't care to catch them all anymore. I want to see other people, smiles on their face, wanting to learn something new, whether they're, experts at carp fishing or they're amateurs. I mean, that's kind of what matters in my life.
That's exactly why I started the YouTube channel, exactly, and doing these tournaments and host them, so I could watch the smiles and the awesomeness of that brings the excitement out of each angler. I mean, you got it, bro. You got it.
Alex has, he's got the 10 out of 10, and all across the board. He's got the passion, he's got the go-get. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna work hard about it, He can talk forever. He's not scared to talk. That's another thing, Me personally, when I first came on, I was very timid. I was scared to talk to people. Alex, he does not care. He will talk to anybody about carp. He will talk to anybody about his rigs. I promise. He calls me, and I wish I could take more of his calls, but he calls me, and every time we call,
he texts me too.
He'll call, and I'll be like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm tying this rig." I'm like, "Okay, hold on, let me sit down. What are you doing?" I gotta get my notepad out. I'm like, "Okay, so you're tying this. How do you tie this? What hook are you using? He's teaching me so much already.
He's done text me so many times. I feel bad half times because I'm working at the time.
Yeah, I know.
I love this guy, man. This guy's awesome. Yeah, it's but I try to communicate back with him all the time. But
so, what would we need to do, to get you to start your Alex Brannon YouTube channel?
Well, I've been talking to Kenny Mack about it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to send you a GoPro and a tripod." And I'm like,
"There we go.
Let's get me started." But when I start a YouTube channel, I want to have some sponsors. So I was talking, to Kenny Mac about it because I want to, have a bait. So our bait company around here in the Chicagoland area, if you guys aren't, familiar, is World Classic Baits.
Right.
After I started using bottom feeder baits, man, I want to get that product out here bad. Like, I want to start, I want to represent this company too. Like, I want to get that bait. We have a bunch of tackle shops within our radial distance. We have Fish Tech, Illinois. If you ever, come here to, the Chicagoland area, I advise going to Fish Tech. I mean, they have all your European style carp fishing kit and stuff. They got your hook. They got all the rigs, man. They sell Corda stuff, man. They sell all the specialty stuff in their shop. Just the one thing they're lacking is bottom feeder baits.
Yeah, we got to make our way that way.
Yeah.
Actually, me and Kenny Mac's been talking a lot, working our way to Chicago after we pretty much get up to Massachusetts area, which it's in. Shout out to Ben's Tackle Shop.
Ben's Tackle Shack.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's a tongue twister to me. And I guess we got we're talking to RJ. I think it's RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting ready to talk to RJ. And a couple other places, and hopefully by sometime next year, we're heading towards Chicago. So but I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for trying out our product, and I'm glad you like it a lot. So that's wow, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm thinking he's gonna.
It's blowing my mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's already been, just bouncing off the information. He's already been a huge asset, not just an asset. He's a great person to talk to. Alex is. He's always this right here. What you see on the show. This is what he gives you. He's always from what I've seen. He's always going to give you 100%. He's always going to give you his true self, and that's what I appreciate about him. Aside from all the knowledge that he has, he's very genuine. He's coming at you with his true self.
Right.
Paul Metz in the chat would like to know, what is your favorite bottom feeder blend?
Oh man, so far. So Kenny Mac's sending me some more. He told me, he did tell me he's gonna send me 6 more bags of it. Thank you very much, love you, buddy. Right now, has to be the Carp Cocaine right now.
Yeah,
I absolutely love the Carp Cocaine, and I love the Tigers. Man, those soaked Tigers, man. Right now the strawberry butternut.
Yeah,
good stuff.
That stuff smells fantastic. And yeah, that's what I've been.
Have you tried the corn yet?
The corn.
I have not.
Don't get him started.
That's why I'm glad that I'm in contact with you guys, especially Kenny Mac, because I can try these things. Yeah. I'm not living under a rock. I get to see what this bait product, what they're like, and I would love to try the flavored the flavored pancos. I almost said panko. The flavored pancos, and I'm kind of excited to try, just some of the others. I want to try the Addiction blend. Actually, I want to add the flavored panko to the Addiction blend with Carp Cocaine.
Hey,
all 3 mixed together.
Okay, the triple mix. See, I do the Addiction blend to the panko mix, but you might have me on a triple mix now.
Ricky does the tournament blend and the Carp Cocaine together.
Okay. Yeah, especially the winter. I like the panko right now. It's just bright. It's fluff. Not too much for him, but packed with those.
The strawberry panko. That's strawberry panko.
Strawbanana.
Strawbanana, yeah.
That's the. You gave me the idea.
Yeah. I got to name the Strawbanana.
You did. I think it was last year at the Carp Expo. You come to me. It's making. I like this one flavor going on the panko. I'm like, okay, well, tell me about it. And this is before he was on bottom feeder bait. And he goes, dude, let me use it. Let me put that thing together, and you name it and all that kind of stuff, and that's what, and it was it. And like, thank you, Daniel, for that.
Yeah, of course.
That's good. That's a good
Thanks,
one, too.
Daniel. I love that name, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Absolutely, I mess with that name real hard.
Yeah, man, I like it. It's just that's part of the fun is making. We have another one that I don't really want to say it in case we make it, and then nobody's gonna take it. All right, we got grape apricot as well that I like. Grape apricot mix. It's a nice grape apricot. Yeah.
Grape apricot.
Yeah. If you're not having fun with making your bait, then why are you making it?
Exactly. We'll be like a bunch of scientists going over there and start.
But yeah, the the carp cocaine, man, you just hands down can't go wrong with it. Carp crack's also really good. I like using carp crack more as like a traditional method mix.
Yeah.
I like to use that usually when I do my coarse style carp angling. So I like to use the carp crack and, tandem with my coarse stuff.
Yeah. Wow. Do you have any problems with bow hunters, bow anglers in your lakes?
So here's the deal. So Heritage Lake is, believe it or not, a catch and release lake. So bow hunting isn't allowed in my park lake that I go to. We have problems with bow hunters, mostly in the rivers that I go to, canals. People like to bow hunt and stuff. But other than that, I mean, Illinois is a lucky place. The Chicagoland area, carp fishing is huge over here. I mean, just saying about that, that tackle shop. I mean, they're carrying Euro stuff. I mean, we got a lot of carp anglers around here to a point where, we still have bow hunting, don't get me wrong, but it's not as popular. When I went to Dale Hollow, I mean, I saw guys out there bow hunting. I saw, you could just tell, you see the lights, the UV looking lights on their boat going around. And, me, the first thing that's going in my mind, I'm like, I gotta be quiet. I don't want to, I don't want to make any noise because then they're gonna know the fish are over here. Nope. I'm here taking care of these fish, man. And that's a good question. Bow hunters. I mean, so, kind of like what Kenny Mack says. It's a passion for some people.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't hate on bow hunters.
No.
I'm not that kind of guy. I love everybody, no matter what. I don't care who you are. Like, if you like to bow hunt and that's your passion, it's your passion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't condone bow hunting. I don't like bow hunting. I don't like, how they're treating the fish or anything like that. I mean, carp are like, the trophy fish that I absolutely love to go for, but at the end of the day, we're not all going to get along, man. We're not all going to do the same style of fishing. If, if that's how it was, then we'll be like, it'll be like Europe, man. Our carp are very pressured. I mean, it would be really hard to carp fish. That's why, I'm kind of blessed that, that we have the benefit of the doubt in the American style of carp fishing. I mean, we have all these waters like Dale Hollow, Lake Zor. We have, Champlain. We got all these lakes where, nobody catches these awesome carp. They don't know about these monsters in there and stuff. Then, people like us go there and, man, it's like some of the best days of our life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Bow anglers, I don't mind if you guys eat them. If the guys want to shoot them, that's fine, as long as you eat it. But just for waste, throw them on the bank and all that kind of stuff, and just that's kind of stuff gets to me a little bit.
Yeah,
that I do not like. That one hurts me every single time. Like that's too much. I cannot go to a body of water and then if I see some some beautiful carp on the shore, it hurts me, man.
It does.
I don't like it. That would be the only way that I personally, that I say something to somebody is if I see people dumping carp on the side of the bank, that you're gonna meet a little bit different, Daniel, right there.
It gets me angry, man. Like sometimes I have to watch myself because when I saw it, I mean I've seen it happen. Someone did it directly in my face. I was carp fishing, had my line set out. There's a guy right next to me who's fishing. He gets a carp and just pretty much does some very mean stuff to the fish and leaves it on the shore. And I was about to just lash out at this guy. I was about to cuss, man. I was about to be, not the Alex that you see on this camera right now, on this, Discord Alex. I mean, you would have seen Beast Alex. And I had to keep telling myself, I'm like, I can't be like this, I have to, I have to be mature about this. I'm not a kid. If I want to represent carp fishing, I got to act like I want to represent carp fishing. I don't want to be, cussing at somebody just because they're hurting a carp in front of my face. I mean, but I was close, man. But, I packed up and left. That's how mad I was. I just packed up and left. It was a good session. I caught 10 fish that day, and I just packed up and left. I felt defeated.
Right. Yeah, see, that's another quality, you didn't lash out. You do think about, if I go over there, then that's how they're going to see all carp anglers. Is just, I'm just going to be some mean guy who's just yelling at them all the time. Yeah. And you're never going to change their mind. So I think, you have this, you have a goal in mind. You do want to represent this carp fishing. And that brings me to Jason Edwards' question is, besides becoming a sales rep for every carp supplier out there, what are your goals for 2026?
Man, 2026, man, I've been planning this ever since 2000, since, this cold has started to kick in, man. My plan for 2026 is to possibly, start selling baits, join,
Okay.
companies that I can, have sponsor me and things like that I can help out with, because I'm always looking for, just work or, somebody to be part of. Definitely visit you guys in Dale Hollow, make it to the whitewater carp fishing tournaments. Just
think you
teach
like that.
overall. I want to do clinics. I want to like do things. Here in the area, we have some fishing clinics here, like expos, if you will, smaller expos. I want to like set up a vendor and stuff with baits and things like that. Just kind of talk about a brief introduction to Euro style carp angling, on what we do, who we are, in the carp fishing community. Maybe get out to Lake Zor. There's a lot of things on my bucket list, guys. Lots of things. I want to go to Onondaga, man. I want to go over there and go fishing in New York. I want to go to Lake Champlain. Man, there's so many places I want to go to, but taking it in babies.
Beautiful, brother. It's truly beautiful.
I mean, thing with you, how come you got so much knowledge on carp fishing and all that stuff, and I can see that you want to teach people and all that stuff. How come you don't have social media, kind of like to get your, not saying get your name out, but just giving out that knowledge?
Yeah, we have a bunch of people, that are asking how can they get in contact with you, and do you have a Facebook and things like that. So
good question. So that's about to change.
Okay, cool.
Since all this stuff, so you have to get for a long time. The reason why I didn't have social media and stuff is, I didn't want people to know where all my spots were. I didn't want people to know about, all this stuff. But now, ever since 2024, I want to be out there for people. I want to be, the first resource for people if they have a question or they want to know something new to come to. Right. So that's why I decided, I'm probably going to get Facebook and stuff. I'm going to start getting myself out there so, I can get in contact with all these people that just want to know about it. I want to, whoever's on the chat right now, if you guys are, interested in things like that, just wait, because I'm going to be, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me.
They sure will. I guarantee you that.
Because this is what we need. We need a lot of this, craziness, like, that loves the passion for the passion.
He's overfilling with passion.
And, just bring out more of the name of carp angling and, just get more people hyped up about it. So, man, okay, I do like bass fishing, but, we'll try this carp fishing thing out and see what's like that.
Yeah.
The passion is you picking up these big, beautiful 30s, 40s, 20s, whatever size, this big, beautiful carp and all that kind of stuff, and you just see the passion in your eyes, what's it all about. So,
I'm glad that you're, making the Facebook and, if you're, one of those people that's like, I just don't like social media too much. You don't have to post your spots.
No,
you don't have to post really like anything too much. Just I'll show you one or two, couple of the carp groups to join, and then you'll find your own little communities from there. And brother, I promise, Alex, people are going to love you.
Yeah, a lot of people now are just blurring out their spots, the stuff behind them. Like, hey, this is my car. Blur, background blur. That's. I understand. I understand 100% that you don't want to give out some of your spots because bow anglers, or that. Well, this is my.
That's a big one, bow anglers.
Right, and especially. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's a lot of people that oftenly like to kill the carp for no reason. Like, they'll actually fish for them with rod and reel, but kill them for no reason. Like, there's a lot of things that lead into why I don't want to show everybody where I'm fishing. But I know that this is a safe place for me to talk about carp angling, and these are safe people to talk to because I know that you guys have the passion like I do.
Right. Yes, sir.
That's why I'm going to be, starting a YouTube channel. I'm going to be getting, Facebook and all that so I could stay in contact with all you guys, and also behind the scenes do YouTube so I could, show you guys, like, in person how to tie a rig. If you guys want to learn how to tie a rig, maybe a brief history of the rig, how this rig started, how it was revolutionized, how it works, what hook baits to use with this, style of rig, the different kinds of carp hooks out there, the different kinds of hook points and all that. In carp fishing, there's only two kinds of hook points. You got beaked, you got straight. Two.
Yep. I was actually just watching Matt Collins. He was talking about that today. I just watched a little video about that. And it seems like, it's funny that, sorry, I'm going to go off on a tangent. It's funny, you see one person make a video about, hook points or, about a multi-rig or about, a slip D rig. And then, you see Fox do it. And then you see Corda do it. And then you see Nash do it. It's like, one company puts out a video and then they're all like, okay, well, now we got to have our multi-rig video out. Or now we got to have our beaked hook video
everyone
out.
does it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
The trend started.
And then you have like styles of rigs. The one that I've been doing a lot lately, it's kind of a rarer rig, but it might sound very interesting, but lately I've been doing the Ronnie blowback rig.
Okay.
So it's actually a so you use a wide gape hook.
Mm-hmm.
You can use a curve shank or whatever. And instead of using a micro rig ring swivel or a hook bead, you actually tie a hair, like a blowback. And then you use a rig, but then you cut off. So you do the knotless knot, and you cut off a lot of the hook section. Not the hook section, the hook link. Right. So then you could add a spinner swivel. And then you slide some shrink tubing above it. You shrink your shrink tubing, and then I do all of my spinner / Ronnie rigs with booms. I use fluoro stiff link for all mine. I'll use sometimes a more of a stiff style hook link, but I like the booms more. I like that. I like the overall the position of the hook in the mouth. I like the more kickback, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I like to use it's called the Corda boom, and it works fantastically.
Wow. Nice.
Okay, we have a couple more questions because these people, they are loving you. They are quite loving you. Eli wants to know, what is the biggest body of water you've tackled?
Dale Hollow.
Dale Hollow?
27,000 acres. I was in...
Did you know?
I was in...
Did you know how much...
No, I didn't know it was 27,000 acres. I did not. I knew it was 20-something, but I didn't know it was 27,000. He probably knows exactly to the pinpoint. Let me see. How many miles of shoreline does it have?
Max depth is about 300 feet. Max depth's about 300 feet, and I was fishing Seawell C.
There you go. I love that place.
It's pretty much next to where Luke Nichols was. I didn't know about that. I didn't know who USA CARP Guide was before this. I didn't know who any of these people were. I started, I did my, my research and stuff, so we booked a houseboat over at Mitchell Creek, and they took us over to Seawell C. I mean, I just showed him the Luke Nichols video. The guy, he drove the boat for us. I just showed him the video on Outdoor Boys. I'm like, I want to be over by the horse trails, like this spot. He's like, oh, that's the horse trails.
Okay.
And he's like, so he dropped us at Seawell C on the houseboat, and we weren't there for very long. I wasn't doing a whole campaign or anything like that. I was there for 3 days. Yeah. And I caught 17 carp there within 2 nights, pretty much. 2 days, 2 whole days, about 17 fish.
Yeah,
all on tiger knots.
The springtime or fall time?
I was there in the middle of the summer.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Wow. I was going to say.
It was like 95 every day. It was disgusting out. And I'm surprised at how well I was doing. 17 fish. It's about 85 humidity levels are absurd. I mean, we're talking 95 some days. Like, you can't even leave the houseboat without sweating real hard and stuff. And you're telling me that I was catching most of my carp in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it's weird. When we go down there in the summer, I usually think, okay, the night bite is about to be really on, but for some reason it's not. It's the middle of the day. It's when the sun is directly over us, those carp just want to feed, and I don't understand it. It is the hottest, muggiest part of the day, and they love it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, here's how I fish Dale Hollow in a nutshell. So, this is how I did it with my prior knowledge. I was using 2 rods. I was only fishing 2 rods because I only really fish 2 rods. 3 rods I find cumbersome because then they're going to get tangled up if you're getting runs. So in Dale Hollow I was doing 2 10-foot rods, and I was using simple rigs. I mean, I was using just a regular blowback rig with a double stack of tiger nuts. Both of the rods had double stacks of tiger nuts, but I would bait my swim up in 3 different increments. I call it the rule of 3s. Right. So you start out with kind of a smorgasbord, if you will, of different particles. So I add maize, pigeon bird feed, or whatever you want to call it, whatever floats your boat. sweet feed pellets, and I mix all that together. And I also like to crush up the tiger nuts to release an aroma in the swim. And that's what I feel like was getting them. And then I, bait in increments. I get my spot, I cast out with about where my rigs are going to be. I want to fish within, I was fishing within 15 to 20 feet of water. I was fishing a little deeper because during a really hot day like that, they're going to be down deep where it's cooler out. They're not going to be right next to the shore. And if you guys know Dale Hollow, you could tell like during the middle of the day, the shoreline's going to be mucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, you got boats coming by and stuff. That shoreline in the morning, it's crystal clear. You can see bass, you can see the bluegill swim by. By the time it's the middle of the day, you don't see nothing. It looks like chocolate milk. So, about 15 to 20 feet, tiger nuts. So that's my first bait up right there. To kind of get them get them interested, And I always like to fish my rigs about 10, 15 feet over my pre-bait, over my my mixes, because that's where the girls are going to be, not the teenagers, not the little fish. I want to go after the bigger fish. So I'm fishing past my pre-bait, or not pre-bait, I say just past my bait. So if I were fishing a middle rod, I'd call it the bait rod. So what that is I'm going to get some some ground baited something, or just scatter it with boilies and stuff and have that in the middle. That's the bait rod. Then the two rods on each side the carp can pinpoint. Right. And I'll cast the bait rod further than the two other rods, which are all going to be scattered up top of all the particles. So then my second rule is protein. So once those carp are, interested in what I have, I want to fish protein. So I want to get things like betaine loaded pellets. Betaine pellets is really good. I like to get out maybe Robin Red if I have it. I'll mix that all together with some boilies, crush up some boilies, crush up tigers and stuff. Nice. So for aroma, I get the proteins all out in my swim. And that's going to, if the fish are, going crazy on that, then that's when I start using boilies most of the time for hook baits. It's like boilies. Pop-ups too. I love to use my pop-ups. So I'll use, that's when I'm pulling out my multi-rigs, my combi rigs, my slip Ds, my Germans, my spinners, I'll use my withy pools too. I love using the withy pool. I'll get the withy pool out there too. I just love the aggressive bend in the withy pool, so I'll use that as a pop-up rig. Use whatever pop-ups I have. Lately, the carp anglers pop-ups, they're what do you call it? The Legend or whatever. They were tournament or whatever they are. They're older. The Romanians gave them to me.
Nice.
Cool. They smell fantastic. I'm just thinking of oh my gosh, carp angler. What's the name of the baits?
Which ones?
Yeah. I'm just thinking, it's just I'm getting brain fog right now.
No, you're good.
It'll probably come back to me here pretty soon. But
about 5 minutes.
PB
Forgotten
muscle.
flavors. Forgotten flavors. There we go.
Oh, okay. Forgotten flavors. Yeah,
Okay,
I love
well,
that.
you forgot.
I forgot, and then I'm thinking, forgotten. So yeah, you like to use, but then when those carp are munching down on that protein, if they're still going, hog wild at that point, well. I'm going to start pulling out cheap baits. I'm going to give them the what I like to call the dessert. That's the maize. That's the corn. It's just corn. That's when I'm going to just switch my rigs from all these hodgepodge stuff to just like blowbacks. I mean, the blowback rig for you guys is probably the rig that I use the most. 99% of the time, I fish the blowback rig. Okay. But like I said, the slip D has been probably my favorite right now. Just because I hate tying those loops all the time. I just want to, do it simpler. So far, blowback and slip Ds are the rigs of choice for me right now. And yeah, I'll start getting them on corn and stuff, and that's just that's the rule of threes.
Oh.
Awesome. You are very, very knowledgeable. You know about all these different rigs. Have you thought about, doing some tournaments? Now you did mention, that first tournament, that's how you had your first Euro carp.
Multi-species.
You're multi-species, but have you thought about, doing just specific carp tournaments? You mentioned you wanted to get up there to Onaganda eventually. Have you looked at, the Ed Fringe, the Wild Carp Classic, the Connecticut tournaments? Yeah, have you looked at any of those? Do any of those itch your brains?
Yeah, all of them have. I've been looking up carp tournaments for the past year. I'm like, I really want to be a tournament angler,
Okay.
I want to, if it would be awesome, I would love to join those guys on Team USA.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Go to different countries, go to different countries like Croatia and do carp tournaments. Like, holy cow, I really want to do that. I could picture myself in Croatia or in some of these countries doing carp tournaments.
Yeah, I tell you, I was blown away. I was fortunate enough to be able to go to the Ed French Open, and seeing those top tier teams, man, they take it very serious. From what I was told, you're put on somewhat of a diet. We need to eat protein rich foods, calorie dense. We don't have times for the snacks that are going to slow us down. We gotta have our brain firing off. So I think you're definitely somebody that can operate at that top tier. You will take it that serious. You do see it as that highest level of competition, and I'm really excited to see where you go with your career. And I definitely well, I was gonna say I definitely think. No, I don't think. I know that that this community will appreciate somebody like you. They, like I said, they've already fallen in love with you. It seems, Alex. Looks like we got people blowing up James' phone trying to get a hold of you right now. But we're excited for your Facebook. We're excited for your YouTube channel. I'm gonna get a hold of Kenny Mack when I can. I'll probably talk to him tomorrow in our daily chat, and see what I can get to help you further your channel, if I can help you at all. And we got to get you out here, man. You're very knowledgeable. I want to see you help people. I want to see this happen for you. The passion that you show, it reminds me, like I was telling the people in the chat, you remind me of me before I even came on, before I was looking for carp. You found your passion, you found something that you want to devote your life to, it seems absolutely. Like, and you want to share it with other people. You mentioned your workshops, you want to do seminars, you want to do these videos. I love what you're doing, man. I think you're getting into it for the right reasons. Not once have you mentioned, I want to get some free gear. It's not like that with you. You genuinely care about the people. You genuinely care about these fish. You genuinely want to teach people, and I'm very, very, very excited to see where you go. This last month of 2025 and this whole year of 2026. We're coming to the end of our show. Are there any, closing statements that you want to say? Any shout outs that you want to give? Any last things that you want to say to these people? This is the last chance that they get to talk to you before you make your Facebook. So any parting words you want to give them?
Well, I would say, first of all, I'm going to do my shout out. Shout out to, Carpy Commando, man. He's in our area.
Man, shout out Brandon Kim.
Mr. Brannon. I would say shout out to USA CARP Guide, of course.
Thank you very much.
Definitely shout out to Team Fish Fighters, Carp Angler Group, everything. Bottom feeder baits, man. West Coast bait boats, all that stuff, man. Carp Angler, everything. So I would say just, the last words that I'm going to say here is don't give up, guys. Yeah. No matter what it takes. If you have sessions, just having, a terrible time, man, you're like, oh, I can't do it. Trust me, man, I've been there before. I was struggling all summer long. I've had weeks go by without catching fish, but just don't give up, man. There's always opportunities out there for anybody out there that's looking into the sport and stuff. Just know that, all of us here are, we're all knowledgeable.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go out there and help some other people, man. Go out there and make give other people smiles, teach kids, that. Like, as simple as that, if you love the passion so much, if you're carp fishing on that shoreline and someone asks you, what are you going for? Tell them I'm going for carp, and make it sound loud and proud. I mean, it happens to me all the time. I mean, I'm not sitting there and some guy's like, what you doing? And I'm like, I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm fishing for catfish. No, I'm saying I'm fishing for carp, man. It's absolutely fun. And then, they'll be like, what? Do you eat them? I'm like, nah, man. I'm fishing for like a trophy. I'm usually sporting my carp stuff, man. I'll tell them all about it. I'll tell them my rigs and everything. And honestly, a lot of people get interested. I mean, this year I got 4 people into carp fishing.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
Good job.
That's another plan for me in 2026. I want to get a lot of people into the sport. I want to revolutionize this.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be a great ambassador.
Do you? I'm sorry. Are you part of CAG, Carp Anglers Group?
right now, as of now, USA CARP, American CARP Society.
Right.
But I wouldn't mind joining both.
I'm not sure who's the chairman for Illinois. I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
I think it might be
don't
Bobby.
know. Yeah, I'm not part of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you not?
I should go. I should join.
should.
I've never joined. I should do it. I just never done it.
I mean, like I say, I mean, you should, yeah, definitely should be some kind of ambassador for something. But I mean, you're a great man. You're blowing my mind away just to how much knowledge you have. Wow.
Yeah, it sounds cliche to say, but he makes my heart happy seeing him. You know, it's seeing what he wants to do with it. He does. Not once has he said, "I want to go out there and I want to catch the biggest carp." No, he says, "I want to get out there. I want to show other people how to do it. I want to get other people into it. I want to share this with other people. I want to put a smile on people's face." And that's, you know, that's who I want on my team right there. I want Alex.
Yeah, if I had a team, like if I had the you know, the option to make a team and all that, I mean, I'd be putting only the best of the best on my team. Like
man.
People that care about other people. I don't want somebody who just cares about themselves and cares about, oh, I want the biggest fish, I want all this tackle. I want people that care about everybody.
Yeah,
that's big for me. That's how I work, you know?
Yeah. And we could definitely feel that.
Right.
So we are, you know, we are running over our show. Thank you so much.
Wow,
thank you
appreciate you, man.
so much for coming onto our show.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for his Facebook. I'll make a post on mine and share his profile when he finally does make it. And then also when you make your YouTube, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll share that as well. I'm gonna plug you very, very, very hard to everybody. We're gonna show you the world, brother, and you know we're gonna get you out there. I love your passion. I love your personality.
Absolutely.
You're in this for the right reasons.
You are.
Thank you for your time. Thank you very much, Alex.
Wow.
Yep, anytime.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Yep, you guys have a good one.
Have a great night, brother.
Yep, yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you,
Wow.
he's a secret.
Wow.
I've been telling everybody we got a secret, and that's him. I'm glad that we finally got to show him to the world. He knows so much. Rigs, and like I said, not once has he said, you know.
What the hell's a German rig?
It's easy. It's just a micro swivel. With
Okay, I didn't know.
Right, I didn't know for the longest
Is there
time.
a Japan rig too?
And I was using them. I was using a German and didn't know what it was. But yeah, Alex is very knowledgeable. I'm excited that he's going to make a Facebook. I'm gonna help him with whatever he needs for his YouTube channel because he's got it.
And, you know, I started out with just like a Walkman a Walkman camera, or not Walkman cameraman. That, you know, it's just easy close, all that stuff, and let's take flash drive, download it into the computer, and all that stuff, and start. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of my stuff that I do is straight off my phone, but I get it. If he wants, you know, if he's like, I want this GoPro to make my videos and I can make great videos with it, all right, let's get you a GoPro, see what you can do then. You know, that's how I see it. I think, I don't think he's BSing at all. I think he can, if we get him the equipment, he can get it.
I'm not sure if he's got the laptops or anything like that.
Yeah, I have no clue. I don't know. But I'll set up a Google Drive. I'll sit at home and sacrifice some fishing days to edit his footage or whatever. We'll get him done, I promise. He's the truth. I like him. I like him a lot.
I like him a lot too. Wow. Man.
Well, yeah. Thank you, everybody,
thank you guys
for the questions. I appreciate you guys for being engaging. I know he talks 1,000 miles a minute, and I'm glad that you guys could keep up.
I wonder what was in his Pepsi.
No, he's always like that. That's what I'm saying. Always. He's always 1,000 miles a minute. That's why I love it.
Oh, I love it. It was great. It was great.
As always, shout out to our sponsors behind us, Big Money Beepers, Carp Angler, Team Fish Fighters, Carpy Commando. Be safe on your trip, Brandon, please.
Yeah.
Be safe getting home. I see all those cool fish that you're catching.
Wow,
if you're going to the expo, which I think you might be, then can't wait to recap with it. I'm going to be asking you all kinds of questions. I'd love to see Vietnam. I hear it's a beautiful, beautiful country. Carp Anglers Group as well. Shout out to you guys. USA CARP Guide. I guess shout out us. And as always, Bottom Feeder Baits. Shout out Bottom Feeder Baits.
Yes.
Remember, if you want to catch your PBs, get your BFBs. Anything else?
I don't know. You think we should do a podcast? Do a podcast over at the Carp Expo?
Yeah, we should do some kind of show type of thing.
I know it gets loud.
Yeah.
But just should get like a little podcast
Yeah, we could
show
do something.
and just grab people from the audience once in a while,
Right.
So.
Yeah. We'll do something.
Yeah.
Shout out West Coast Bait Boats. Shout out Bid's Tackle Shack. Shout out Catch. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Practice safe fish carry, tight lines.
Everybody, thank you.